Hi, how are you doing, guys? It's Tom here, and I've got a YouTube tool for you, which I think you're going to like. Long and short of it, we're going to be turning a Figma design into a Shopify section, but again, you can use all these principles to um, turn a whole Figma design into a whole Shopify theme. I reckon you could do it within under a day. We're going to do one section in under 10 minutes. And again, once you're already set up, then it becomes easier and easier and easier and quicker. So first thing we need to do is connect the MCP tools. Not to bore you, but if you don't know what MCP tool is, it's a plugin you can basically give your code editor a almost it's like an API for the AI agent. So in Cursor, this is the AI code editor, and we're going to give this code editor agent permission to our Figma and MCP server. So first of all, I'll put all the links in the description below, so don't worry about that. Yeah, add MCP to Cursor, install. Again, we're going to fly through this because it's really simple and we don't need to overcomplicate this. We just need to authenticate our Figma account, allow, and Wiki, we can close that, and then for the Shopify server, we just need to skip all this and we just want to copy this part. So if you copy that part and then you go back to your code editor and go new MCP server and then save. This one doesn't need any authentication because you're not logging into anyone's Shopify account. It's just using Shopify's open MCP dev server, which is pretty cool. So you can see they're both connected. And I've already pre-written my prompt. So yeah, I'm not going to bother writing that out. It's just to save some time, but I'll walk you through the prompt so we can close that. This is the site in the dev environment. So again, it's just a test site I use for tutorials and for clients. And this is the section I want to copy into my homepage. So yeah, so this is where you could put your prompt in on the right hand side. So let me just copy my prompt. So using the Figma map tool, please review this Figma design. Oh yeah, I've had to copy and paste the URL for the Figma design. So if you have a look up here, this is what I've copy and pasted. Also, if you have a look, this is kind of what it needs really, the Figma MCP tools and Node ID, because if I change from this page to this page, just keep an eye on the URL here, you see it changes. So that's what's going to kind of help direct the MCP tool to the right area. I need you to convert the component section called feature free. Let's just double check I've got that right. Yeah, feature free. Into a Shopify theme section and add it to the index.json file. Please ensure it's responsive across all devices and looks exactly like the Figma design. And then please use Shopify Dev MCP tool to validate the code. Right, let's just enter that and see what happens. I did do a test tutorial before this one, so it should all work correctly. Get Figma design context. See it's doing all this. Hopefully that works. Look at that. We can see it all working on the side here. So it's already using the Dev MCP tool for Shopify. It's already using the Figma one. Again, look, it just pulled a screenshot into the code editor for us so we can make sure it's got the right page. I think it's just reading the Shopify code at the moment just to make sure it follows the same standards. And then shortly you should see it build out the code in here. I'm just going to get open a tab that we'll need in a minute. All right, so this is it building it here. Feature free. So it's called feature free images liquid. Makes sense. Let's just see that play out for a minute. Feature free image. This is all the code it's produced, which I think is pretty incredible. Again, there might be some problems with the design once it puts it in the home page. It's just completing all the schema settings. That's that done there. And it has added it to the theme. So what we probably need to do now is actually wait for it to finish. Remove it. It's just, I don't know what it's doing at the moment. It's just fixing some errors within the JSON file, which is where the section belongs. Let's wait for that to finish, but quickly, whilst it does, we can see it's in here. Look at this, it's produced all the blocks as well, which is pretty cool. I mean, that is up to like the highest of Shopify standards, that is, in terms of protocols. The only thing I would say, if we look at the Figma design, it's not done the stacking correctly. Let's see if when we add in any images, does it change? Is it still changing the thing? Yeah. So as you can see, it's probably not the quickest process, which is absolutely fine, I think. Like it just seems to be struggling with this part. It wasn't okay, so it's now all done. So it looks like it's done a pretty good job from initially. It looks like we're going to have to ask it to make some design changes to, yeah, this actual part. Doesn't seem like it's got that part nailed down. Wonder what it looks like on mobile. So it's just stacked it on mobile, which I suppose for the moment's fine. But we want to get it on the desktop to look exactly how we've got the design. So let's try and tell it something. Uh, why does that keep disconnecting? Right, so we need to write in here majority of the design correct, but the image layout looks wrong. The moment they're all stacked on each other, but if you look at the Figma design, more of a grid layout with the left image taken full height of the left side. Please review the section again in Figma. image. So we're just going to ask it to fix this right-hand side part. But whilst it's done that, you can clearly see it's built this whole content management system within the Shopify theme editor. Put your images in here. We can change the color, the background, the padding. We can add different tagline, heading, the heading size, buttons as well. So it's done a really good job there. It's just for the first attempt, it's got this image layout on the right wrong. So before we end this tutorial, we're just going to give it another chance to give that a go. So let's see what it said after. Okay, so hmm. Right, what we're going to do here, we're going to do a last little trick which might work. Upload a print screen to it. We give it one more go. But all in all, it does work really well. I have probably given it a slightly, in terms of design, a bit more complex section to figure out. I mean, I could have gone for this section and it probably would have done it straight off the bat. But I mean, within under 10 minutes, it's done this, which probably would have, um, I mean, probably taking you like at least an hour to do that yourself, if you take into account the whole content management system. Probably over an hour. I mean, this is an absolute ball ache creating a content management system. So if I have a look at the code for you, whilst it changes it, you'd have to, I mean, this was CSS. Really, probably want this in a CSS file, but hey ho. You can ask to do that later. Yeah, all this schema would take you forever to write out and then connect up into the actual liquid in here. So, I mean, it's incredible. And then even if it doesn't figure out this last part, really, if you are a front end developer, you can probably figure that out yourself. I mean, look, fixed it. Thank God it came through. Hey, I was a bit worried then, but nah. Even if it didn't do that, like I think as a front end dev, you should probably have the capabilities of being able to fix that yourself, and it's probably saved you about an hour to an hour and a half anyway. But the fact that it's done that is pretty incredible, if you ask me. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you've got any other ideas on what I can do for you in terms of AI, Shopify, automation flows, honestly, please leave a comment in the section below and I can definitely help you out with tutorials like that. Peace out.